Hey everyone. So the official YouTube channel of World of Warcraft actually released a um, teaser trailer video around 4 days ago. This was regarding the release date of Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Honestly, when I got to see that video, it got me thinking like what will happen to private servers, uh, or Wrath of the Lich King private servers like Warmane. So I decided to make this video, I guess, just to spark up some conversation and pretty much hear what you guys think. Uh, will private servers die, or will people actually end up choosing the free option and end up boosting private servers more? So, for those who don't know about Warmane, it is currently the top server for, or the top private server for Wrath of the Lich King. Warmane has been around since 2010, but back then it wasn't really called Warmane yet. It was called Molten WoW. And pretty much the reason why they changed it is because sometime around 2015, I think, uh, Molten WoW was actually hijacked by one of their higher staff members, and the damage that was done to the server was very, very catastrophic. This was to the point that all the characters were no longer accessible to the players, and all the backups were also taken by that staff, so it wasn't retrievable anymore. Um, but yeah, and unfortunately, I was actually one of those players who couldn't recover years worth of game progress. Um, uh, this event pretty much killed Molten WoW, but not long after that incident, Molten WoW was actually revived, and it was rebranded into Warmane. And they offered in-game compensation to the players that got screwed, just to try to get them back and pick up where they left off. Now, fortunately, a lot of us did come back and decided to continue playing, and Warmane was also acquiring new players at this time as they were gradually working, or yeah, well, they were gradually working on the script and the content. And since then, it has been the top private server for Wrath of the Lich King. I guess simply because of that fact that it's the most scripted Wrath of the Lich King private server to date, and it has the highest population of players. Like right now, I think I checked the website around 2 minutes ago, or like before I started this video. There's currently more than 24,000 players online, and this is across the three Wrath of the Lich King servers that they have. Right now, this is actually Icecrown. This one is the most populated server of Warmane. It's at a times 7 rate, I think. So yeah. Um, yeah, as you can see, like I'm just running around aimlessly from Thunderbluff to Dalaran. You can see the server is actually packed. Like it's really, really populated. Uh, and this are like what you've seen so far is just from the Horde side. I won't really be able to go to the Alliance side, but yeah, look, see, there's really a lot of players in this server. So yeah, and in my experience, actually, there's even a lot of new players coming in, and um, they're just starting to play World of Warcraft. Even if they haven't really played any other expansion at all, like they start playing with they start playing with Wrath of the Lich King, and it always, I don't know, kind of gives me joy to encounter one of these new players, and I try as much as I can to help them progress and stuff, or teach them their class or something like that. Anyway, so personally, and a lot of people might not agree with my opinion, to be honest, but I believe part of the reason also why Wrath of the Lich King private servers are still thriving is because Wrath of the Lich King is the best expansion that World of Warcraft ever released. I believe this is closely followed by the Burning Crusade. Now, I've tried to play every expansion they released after, but I always end up going back to this or going back to Wrath of the Lich King here and Warmane. So yeah, I guess again that's just my honest opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts though, or your own opinions. Like for you guys, what do you guys think is the actual best expansion? Um, Feel free to share that with us, like in the comments or something. What else? I guess we can talk about some pros and cons of playing in Warmane versus World of Warcraft classics or retails, etc. Honestly, one of the main reasons why I personally opted to play in a private server was because this was around more than 10 years ago. So back then I was just a high school student and I was just living off of my daily allowance from my parents, so I couldn't really afford or sustain the subscriptions for retail. So for short, I pretty much chose to play in a private server because it's basically free. Now, while I guess that is a huge selling point, it also brings a downside, I think, because this means that um, Warmane wouldn't be able to afford a large number of staff, like developers or GMs, uh, or server maintenance people, etc. This versus Blizzard's actual capacity to have a huge team, and they even have departments. So I guess this results in a slower response in terms of player reports or issues or fixing bugs or GM responses and pretty much the other administrative stuff that goes into the game. But don't get me wrong, they still get the job done and quite well quite well to be honest. Like the ban report videos on my channel, if you look at them, they actually all got banned like 2 or 3 days after I reported them for like going against DOS or something like that. These are people doing phishing bot or um, being assholes in RDF or being ninjas, etc. Stuff like that. So yeah, they actually look into those kinds of things. So kudos to the GMs. Again, the con, uh, just the con is that it's a lot slower. We can't expect them to address our issues or like when you submit tickets. There's always that prompt that the GMs are currently full. They'll attend to your ticket soon, as soon as they can. But again, it takes like 2 or 3 days. But yeah, they're doing their best, so I don't mind. Um, Now, in terms, I guess, of where Warming gets their revenue and the salaries of their staff, they get these through the donation system where players can spend real money in exchange for the exclusive currency, or what we call here as coins. Those coins they can actually use to buy almost any of the in-game weapons or gears, uh, or even the mounts. And yeah, these actually include the hardest ones to get in the game. Um, but to be honest, I guess this is the number one reason why there's this common notion that Warmane or Icecrown, the server, it's actually a pay-to-win game because basically the more money you have, the more advantage you have. Now, personally, while there is some truth in that, I don't think that that is necessarily the case. I mean, advantage-wise, donors will just possibly progress faster. But as a non-spender or a free-to-play player, these items are just as attainable in game as you grind and progress, pretty much. And honestly, most of the players like myself, I fell in love with World of Warcraft in the first place because I loved grinding. I loved adventuring. Meeting new people, making new friends. Yeah, so it's pretty much like why would you play World of Warcraft if you're just gonna end up, buying all this stuff, like, and not work hard for it? You know what I mean? Like, it's always a lot more fulfilling to grind for the gears, or like to grind for the content with your friends or your guildmates. I guess that's the main point of these kinds of games, to be honest. Um, so yeah, um, I guess I'm okay with it. I'm completely fine with the donor system. I mean, how else would Warming stay operational and properly maintained, right? I mean, I would choose this system versus Warming delving into ads or skins, DLCs, and all that shit that modern games exploit as revenue streams these days. But I guess the cherry on top, as to why I don't think Warming is a pay to win, is because they have this trade system in their website where you can trade your farmed in-game gold. Again, that's farmed in-game gold. So that's a gold you can farm with your professions and stuff like that. You can actually trade this with other players for the exclusive currency or coins that donors get when they donate. So basically, you just have to farm gold, which to me is a wonderful thing because I'm no longer in high school, and these days I have like a 9 to 5 job, so it's a lot more difficult to find the time to do those 4-hour raids within the week just for a chance to get the gears that I want. So these days, at least I can just farm gold whenever I can or whenever I have the time. Then when I come up with enough gold, I can just set it up for trade in the website, and then usually within the day or like in one day, someone would actually end up buying the gold or trading the gold for coins, which I can then use to um, get like best in slot items for my alt characters, for example. So yeah, I guess another con for private servers is that uh, there are no region-specific servers. Like for example, the main server of Warming, I believe, is located somewhere in Europe. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, and well, I'm playing from the Philippines, so I end up playing with a higher than usual MS than other players that are closer to Europe. But then again, it's also nice to be playing and making new friends from around the world, and not just Southeast Asian region, or not just in the Southeast Asia region. So yeah, so I guess those are just some of the pros and cons that I can think of right now. But again, please feel free to mention or share with us the ones that I missed. Um, I would love to hear what you guys think. Um, well, let me just help this guy out a bit. So yeah, I guess just so we can note the possible scenarios, at least the ones that I think are most likely. So the first possible scenario I would say, I guess, is once Wrath of the Lich King is launched. I mean, like Wrath of the Lich King Classic is launched. Wrath of the Lich King private servers like Warmane will significantly decrease in population. Because players will start moving to Wrath of the Lich King Classic, and Warmane will gradually but eventually die. So that's kind of sad, especially since, like in my case, as mentioned, I've invested a lot of time and effort um, in this server already. The second one, I think, another possible scenario is people will try Wrath of the Lich King Classic, but end up being frustrated with Blizzard again, like they did with Vanilla Classic and Burning Crusade Classic, and then they just end up opting to play in private servers like Warmane. Again, because it's free and it's obviously a much more feasible option, I would say. So in this case, Warmane will thrive more than their current situation right now. I think that would be nice. Third, I think because Wrath of the Third, it's because I think Wrath of the Lich King is the best expansion ever. Wrath of the Lich King Classic, once they launch it, it will pretty much dominate for the longest time because people will be frustrated, and this again will negatively affect private servers like Warmane. So yeah, and then the fourth one, I think maybe I'm just overthinking this, and there's actually really no coloration, and private servers like Warmane won't really be affected, and it'll just continue steadily thriving, as there's also a good number of players actually like myself that have invested so much in the game already. Yeah, so much time and effort. I guess it's as much sentiment, or it's as sentimental to them as it is to me. Yeah, so again, these are just some of the scenarios I have in mind, and I'm really interested to hear what you guys think. So let me know. Share it with us. Let's start a discussion or something like that. Um, if I missed anything relevant that you guys think should be included, please feel free to mention them as well. But yeah, either way, I don't think I'll stop playing in Warmane because I've made so much good friends along the years, and there's just too much sentiment, like I mentioned. So if ever you guys do decide to play in Warmane, just hit me up, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Like I can boost you, or pretty much guide you, um, and help you as much as I can. Um, yeah, I'll leave my characters' IGNs in the description area, so you guys can hit me up if you guys want to play. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Let me know what you guys think. It would be nice to kind of see where most of us are kind of leaning towards to with regards to this topic, or like the future of World of Warcraft in general. So thanks, guys, and please, please keep safe always. Bye.